For many, many decades, Great Britain had control over most of India. One of the ways that they helped to hold that control was that they sent missionaries to preach Christianity to the Indians. Now, there was a certain young missionary who was sent on his first mission, and before he left England, he talked to some men who had come back from India. And they had told him what to expect. And one of the things that they had told him to expect was there are many types of very dangerous snakes in India. Some so dangerous that if they bite you, you can't walk 10 feet before you're dead. Being from England, if you don't know, there isn't a real big snake population in England. So not being familiar with snakes just in and of itself made him just terrified of what to expect. When he got there, he was given his first assignment, and it was to go to this small town just over this large hill, small mountain. He was riding on a mule along the edge of this mountain, along a very narrow path. And as he was about to come to a turn, the mule that he was riding on became very antsy and stopped right in the middle of the road. The young man was young, but he wasn't stupid. He knew that if this mule is upset, there's probably something not very good around this corner. He got off of the mule, slowly walked around the corner, and saw lying in the middle of the road a very, very large black snake, resting its head underneath a stone. The young man was terrified. He didn't know what to do. He was worried that if he didn't pass by and go to the town and preach, he was going to be sent back home. And he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to fail the mission that he was given. However, this very large snake in the road didn't pose a much better prospect in his mind. As he stared at the snake resting its head under the stone, he began to worry about what would happen. Finally, he came to himself, and he prayed into himself to God and said, "Let me figure out what to do." While he was looking at the ground around him, he saw a large stone. And he said, "Maybe what I'll do is I'll take this stone, I'll sneak up on the snake, drop the stone on the stone that the snake is hiding its head under. Hopefully I can kill it and get on with my trip." So he rustles up whatever courage he has, and he picks up this large stone, and he slowly sneaks up on the snake. I guess he doesn't realize that he's already low to the ground, so sneaking up on him is not going to make a difference. He gets up close enough, and he raises up the stone, and then just as he's about to raise up the stone, he looks down at the snake's head, and he sees a trickle of blood coming out from underneath the stone. He looks even closer, and he sees that the snake's not even breathing. It's not moving. With even more courage than it took to pick up the stone, he takes his foot and flips over the stone that the snake's got his head under, and realizes somebody had already come along and crushed the snake's head that was lying in the road. The snake was dead, and he hadn't realized it. Relieved beyond words, he says a prayer of thanks, kicks the snake out of the road, gets on his mule, and continues with his mission. What I wanted to point out was, as we go through this life and we come upon things in this life that we struggle with, whether it be temptations or trials, one thing that we need to realize, no matter how bad the situation looks, there is somebody that has already walked that path. There is somebody that has already taken those trials and those temptations and bore them so that we don't have to. There was one who came along that path and has already crushed the snake's head for us, and we don't need to worry what waits beyond that. As we commune with our Lord and each other this morning, let's remember not only what He's done for us, but just how much He overcame and how much we don't have to overcome because of it.